Now I'm going to move on to her ice cream cone. Since that's a small area, I didn't get any of the blue in there, so I didn't have to worry about cleaning it up. I'm just going to go ahead and color the cone, and that was YR12, and I'm adding a little bit of shading with E37. Now this is pretty dark, so I don't want to add too much, just sort of right around where her hand would be, over on the other side, keeping in mind my light source. Then go back in with your lighter color and blend. Now yes, those two colors, not even from the same color family. Sometimes I follow the rules, sometimes I just break those rules. It's no fun unless you're breaking the rules. Okay? I'm going to assume that's a little chocolate stick sticking up there in her ice cream. Okay? And I want her to have some chocolate ice cream. Yummy. But I don't want it to be the same brown as what's shaded in her, the cone part. I want it to really sort of stand out. So I used E55. Okay. And to add the shading, I'm going to use E57. Just a little bit of it, just to give it that dimension. Okay. Once you add your darker color, go in with your lighter color and blend it together. Yummy. I could use some ice cream right about now. Okay, now there's a couple more parts to do. Let's go down and do her shoes next. I want to give her a nice pair of patent leather shoes. So these are very tiny, very small areas. So I don't want to use a lot of ink. I'm going to again start with my light color, add my medium, and I always end up taking off the wrong cap. I like to use the super brush tip, and for some reason when I pick up my markers I'm always taking off the chisel end cap. And then add my darkest areas. Now you'll notice now I'm going to do her straps also. Since that is such a teeny tiny little area, I'm just going to do it very, very lightly and just sort of tap with the tip. Add just a dot of color. Okay, now I'm going back in with my lightest, blending that back out. And you've got some nice patent leather shoes. Okay. Couple more things. We've got some hair to do. Don't have my hair colors picked out yet. Let's do E18 for her hair. And now the hair on these is a little bit different than on a normal image where you're going to have like full coverage on the hair. On these, I like just to give it kind of some strokes to fill in, but I like to also make sure that I'm using just the tip because I like to keep those lines, okay, for coloring the hair. So I'm not worried on this type of image about getting the different colors and getting the highlights. With the exception of that one area, I do sort of want to keep that a little bit lighter. So I'm going to go in, my first color was a Y18. I'll go in with a, I'm sorry, it was an E18. I'm going to go in with an E55 just to see what that looks like. And I don't really care for it. So I'm actually going to go back in with that E18 and add those strokes back in and just kind of cover that up. Okay. Now I did go outside the line just a little bit right there, outside of her hair. So I'm going to take my colorless blender, which is the 0. I'm just going to push it back into the image. Okay. Then lastly, I've got her little heart and her little tie there. I'm going to use red. My heart's reddish pink. So I'm starting out with R43. Adding just a tiny bit of color. And now I'm going to add R46 for the shading. Again, just tapping with the tip of that brush. I want to make sure I keep that center highlighted. Give it a little bit of contrast there.